It's mid-September, fall is upon us. What better time to play a horror game? And today I'm going to start a re-record of my playthrough of Silent Hill 2. One of my favorite games of all time. However, not my favorite Silent Hill game. I own this game on the PS2, not the greatest hits version, but the original release version of the PS2 game. However, as you can see, we will be playing this on the PC with the fan-made Enhanced Edition mod, which should bring it up to the PS2's original quality, plus enhance it a bit to make it nicer. And you can see there are a bunch of options you can click on. One of the options listed there, you have to click a button combo to get to in the PS2 version, but I don't remember what that was. As you can see there, the Born from a Wish DLC is on here. That was included in later editions. I'm going to pick normal here, but we will be playing this on easy.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
And something cool here, our character has a mirror image, which is pretty sweet. And we have a quick turn, which I can use in this version of the game, as opposed to the emulated version of Silent Hill 1 that I did.
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said, Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
So this being the PC port, there are a few issues with this game compared to the original. Right here, I don't hear much of the footstep sound effects for James, which is weird. Come over here and get a map. You can already see that this game has a completely different tone from the original game. It's going to be a very different story. which is something I do like. Granted, Silent Hill 3 will be a continuation of the first game, but I do love that they branched out in this game and did something completely different. So this section is going to be a walking segment. The music in this game, in particular this section, is really awesome, as well as the ambience, which I'm talking over unfortunately. This game is considered one of the pinnacles of survival horror. And one of its best aspects is its soundtrack. This opening section is a decent build into the game. There are a lot of creepy sound effects in the background to give you the feeling that something sinister is going to happen. I feel like it plays a lot off of the original, where if you played the original game, you already know something bad's going to happen. But you don't know what. I'm not going to spoil anything about this game until we get there, even though I know the story. I beat this game twice. Once back in 2001 or 2002. I can't remember. I played this and Resident Evil Code Veronica at the same time. One of those games I beat on New Year's Day 2002. The other one I beat either slightly before or slightly after. I can't remember which. Both really good games. And if you check this out, this gives us our first save point. As you can see, I have played a little bit of this, just testing out this version, making sure everything worked okay. For the most part it does, but like I said, there are footstep sound effects that are missing, which is kind of strange, but not a big deal overall. And I would much rather play this version than my emulated version of the PS2 game. Or go through the recording process of hooking up my PS2 and using my physical copy, which I still own. You can adjust the camera, but it's not that easy to do, especially in this opening segment.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah. I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe. And it's not just the fog either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone.
Who is it?
Someone... very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your
No,
problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
I don't care what anybody says, I like the voice acting in this game. It's a bit stilted, a bit awkward, but I think it really fits the mood of this game. Unfortunately, we lost the really awesome opening music, but it's replaced by music that's not too bad. I will be checking the map a lot during this playthrough, so it's definitely something you want to make sure you don't miss. That girl already seems messed up. Actually, all the characters in this game are pretty messed up. And something to note about Angela, that's her name, she's only 17. But it is pretty interesting that she had a couple moments there where she talked like a little kid saying, "I'm looking for my mama," and then corrected herself to say she was looking for her mother. And she also mentioned she thought her father and brother were there, which I know what that all means, but you'll find out as we go. Actually, I can't remember if they talk about that aspect, but I think they do. We'll see. So we're playing as our boy James Sunderland here. Notice how he runs. He prances like a little girl. Not the most manly of walks. When we get to redoing Silent Hill 3, you'll notice the female character we play as, only one in the series, she actually runs more manly, which is interesting. Easily my favorite character out of the protagonists, though. I can't wait to get to that one. Though I will admit, I think I like this game better than Silent Hill 3. All three are really good, though. I do have some trouble navigating this area, but fortunately we won't spend a whole lot of time in the outdoors. At a certain point I noticed that there are fences that act as a guidepost leading you to where you need to go. I played this section a couple of times, just testing out this version of the game, as well as the PS2 emulated version, which I was considering, just for the save states. But really I don't need that except for one part, which is why I'm actually playing this on easy mode. I know you saw in the opening me pick normal, but I will be on easy. And there's only one part that's causing me to do that. Otherwise I would not be worried about this game at all. It's not a challenging game, it's more meant to experience the atmosphere and appreciate the story. Like I said, this game is considered one of the pinnacles of the survival horror genre, and it's something different for the time. This game came out in October of 2001. Games like this did not exist at that time. If you're unfamiliar with this game, once you get into the story, notice any plot twists or anything like that, it may seem a bit like a trope. But keep in mind, in terms of video games, this game wrote that trope. When this game came out, those tropes did not exist. So the first thing I want to do is come across the street. Unfortunately, I'm going to pass this item up, but I will come back to it. This town is littered with items, so we want to pick up as many of them as we can. And there it is. I need to have a fiddle with the control settings. That's our first item of the game, the medkit. I believe that item heals you about 2/3 of your health, but I'm not sure. This is one of 3 different healing items that we will find in the game. This one is the mid-tier of the 3. And I'm showing this letter off because of something I did not know about this game until I watched One Doomed Gaming Critic's stream. Check out James's hottie, that's his wife Mary. Well, okay, I don't know if she's necessarily a hottie, but if she existed and offered, I wouldn't say no. Apparently we need to check that photo a lot for the ending I'm going for. So like with the first game, I probably will be referencing his work a lot when it comes to his interpretations of this game, because most of his interpretations of the series make good sense to me. I hope that's not Chris's blood. Sorry, but the joke had to be made. And this next item I'm going to pass up, but we'll come back to. I'm going to try to show on the map every place I find an item. I can't guarantee I'm going to succeed at every one, but I am going to try. Just in case somebody's looking at this for a walkthrough. Many years ago, I saw this girl LP Origins, a game I do not consider part of Silent Hill. Whenever she found an item, she would show the item location on the map, which I thought was really cool. So I am going to try to do that on this LP. I didn't do that on the first game, though. There we go, we got a health drink. That's basically your green herb of this game, for those familiar with Resident Evil. It'll fill you about a third of the way for health. Unfortunately, there's no equivalent of a red herb to combine them with. And here will be another one as soon as I can find it. There we go. I shouldn't need to show that on the map because it's just across the street from another one. Like with the first game, this area has streets that are blocked off by a weird chasm. I think we can tell proper road maintenance was not part of the city's budget. I might have to fiddle with the control settings because James feels a bit stiff to control. Before we press on, be sure to come through here because there are 2 health drinks and a save point, and we want to hit that up and pick up both items. Give me. Give me. Thank you. And there's another one over here. It does take me a bit with these items to find. For those new to my channel, I am visually impaired, blind, whatever you want to call it. So finding items is not exactly easy for me. Eventually I will stop showing me saving my game, but this early on I wanted to show it. And that's where we are on the map. So we should have 4 health drinks and a med kit. So plenty of health for anything that comes our way at the start. Now we need to head this way. So we'll see how this game progresses. The thing I read about this game, which I believe is on the box of this game, basically said that we play as James Sunderland, a guy who got a letter from his wife Mary, who died 3 years ago because of a disease, which he covered in that opening cutscene. But in case you missed it, that's what we're dealing with. So we're at least playing something completely different from the first game. Well, there be monsters here, and unfortunately we cannot walk forward while attacking with a weapon. Move forward and hit the thing.
Is it dead? What the hell is it? It's not human.
No, it's a sickly looking thing with a straitjacket. The interesting thing about this enemy, I believe it's called a line figure. I'm just showing off the items we picked up, the board with a nail in it, and the radio. Its attack is to vomit on you. We will see that later on in this game, I'm sure. Take another look at Mary, and let's move forward.
Oh yeah. This thing broken? I'd better take it anyway. I might need it.
So there's a woman's voice calling out to somebody named James. And I noticed one thing that's said in there that got broken up, but I can tell what's being said there. I'm not going to say what was said there because that would be a spoiler, but it is interesting that if you figure that out, then you can get the twist of this game at the start. Coming back here, I'm going to save my game again, but I won't make you watch that. There we go. Now we can move forward. Now the streets will be flooded with those enemies. I believe they are called line figures. Excuse me. Excuse. No time for you. And it is interesting that their attack is to vomit on you. Vomiting, of course, being something that you do when you're sick. So keep that in mind. I know there are a ton of items in this town if you explore the streets, but I'm not sure where they all are. I know one place with a couple of items, which is where I'm headed to. These are the only 2 items I found in my original playthrough of this game. Unlike that playthrough, I'm not wasting time searching for more items. I'm just going for the items I know exist in this game. And since I am playing on easy mode, I don't have to worry too much. Which I'm only doing for one section in this game, which was kind of annoying for me. So there we go. There's an item. And it's another medkit. And that's where we are on the map. Now I'm trying to find the next item, which is a new item. I will try to show it off the next time we pick up one. It's handgun bullets. So we got our first bit of ammo, which is cool. So now we need to head to Neely's Bar. You get a hint for this if you explore and find this trailer or RV, if you will. I don't remember exactly what that hint says. If it's still there when we find it later, I'll show it off. I thought this might be the door. It is not. So let's keep moving. But since I know what we're doing, we don't have to mess with that. I am in this dangerous position of knowing the story, knowing the game, but not knowing it well enough to know exactly what we're doing. I know the first game easily the best out of the 3 Silent Hill games. And yes, I know there are technically more games with the Silent Hill name, but I don't count them. Even though I've LP'd 3 more of them. To me, Silent Hill is a trilogy. Silent Hill 1 introduces us to the world. There's a hole. It's gone now. I've referenced that a few times during other LPs. When I originally LP'd this game, I wondered if that was something they used when coming up with Silent Hill 4, which now I don't count. But I'm going to assume probably not. James, don't get stuck on the car. Let's move. So I didn't show it on the map, but we need to take a right and head up and to the right and then a left. And then up again. We're going to go through another alleyway. So far, this enhanced edition looks pretty good. Oh, and the reason I showed myself selecting the normal difficulties, even though we are on easy, is because I had an issue with the recording, so I had to use some test footage for the very opening segment of this video. Just the main menu and the opening cutscene. Oh geez. The last time I LP'd this game, that startled the shit out of me. Pick up that key, that's going to be very important. I think that corpse is a James model. There are a few of those in this game where you can find corpses that look just like James. I'm not sure if that's intentional symbolism or if that's just kind of like the Leon zombie model in Resident Evil 2, reuse of assets. So now we need to head down to the road again and then take a right, and then we will go all the way until we hit up the apartment complex we're headed for. Bit obtuse. Doesn't make a ton of sense why we're doing this, but It's what we have to do. I think there's a health drink down that alleyway I missed. I'm not 100% on that. So you can explore this area if you want to. I'm not worried about needing a ton of items. The first 2 games give you a ton of items. It's not till the 3rd game where the game gets a bit stingy on items. Not too bad, but a bit more stingy. In particular with ammo. Oh god. This is where the camera messed with me a little bit. But we made it. And without taking any damage, huzzah! I cannot promise that will happen throughout this entire LP. I would like to promise a no damage run, but I can actually promise that will not be the case. Huzzah, map! We are now in an apartment, which we will explore next time. I'm trying to find the save point. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and save the game as soon as James will walk around this corner. He has a lot of trouble turning corners. There we go. Like I said, I probably won't show me saving anymore, just to save time. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time with more Silent Hill 2.